Welcome back, fellow aviators. Today we're going to be talking about 5 missiles that are expected to come to the game. But before we get into that, make sure to subscribe and join the Discord because that's the main way to enter in our 10,000 Golden Eagle giveaway. More details will be in the description down below. Now, in terms of missiles, we'll be talking about missiles that are pretty much expected to come into the game and missiles that are in the game files that just haven't been put on jets yet. Other than that, tell me what missiles you guys would like to see in the comments down below. So the first missile I think we could see in the game pretty soon is the... So, this bad boy is a pretty darn good missile. The AIM-9M is proven to be in the files currently. Now, this basically has a better seeker head, so it's able to distinguish between flares and the enemy a lot better. It also has a low smoke motor, which is pretty neat. So basically, when you launch this thing, it's harder to see. The trail is a lot less and disappears a lot quicker. So basically, you're not going to see this thing coming in sim. For example, this missile I launched in the Tomcat has a huge trail behind it. An AIM-9M would likely have a reduced trail. So that's actually something pretty neat. We've seen this in some missiles in the game currently. But to have this in the game, that would be absolutely awesome, especially for some stealthy kills. In sim, it's going to do a good job as well. Not only that, this missile pulls a little better and has been found in the files, so it's pretty much confirmed. Now, the next missile in the roster, of course, is the R-73. Now, this goes on a lot of the newer Russian aircraft, even on the Su-25. I'm not sure if it's the one in game, but definitely on the Su-25T. So this missile has 40 degrees off bore sight. So it's going to work really well with the HMS, and you're going to be able to basically look at targets, launch these, and they should pull into the circle. They don't compress badly. Now, when Gaijin did add this in the dev server on the MiG-29, they compressed really badly, and that was one of the many reasons Gaijin removed it from the game. But I believe this missile is coming back. I'm almost 100% certain. Just mark my words, back to this video in the future. That missile is being added to the game. It's only that, you know, it takes time to work on that sort of deal, and especially that sort of missile, because it is a new type of missile that they'll be adding to the game, similar to the SRAM, but a lot better because it burns longer and it has a lot different technology in it. So yeah, I can't wait to see this missile, and you know, it's definitely coming, and it'll be on the flankers, the MiG-29, the Foxbat or the Foxhound. So yeah, that's the R-73. Now for our number 3 spot, the AIM-54C Phoenix missile. Now, do not mistake this with the one we have in game. The one we have in game is the AIM-54A, and it is the model that has longer range. Or actually, I'm not even sure if it's that model. I don't think it's the Mark 60 we have in game. I could be wrong. But this is the AIM-54C, and whether they add the Mark 60 or not, that's to be debated, but the AIM-54C, that is confirmed. It is in the files, and the cool thing about this is this was carried on the F-14A, the F-14B, and the F-14D. And since we don't have it on the F-14A in game, I'm assuming they're going to put this on the F-14B, or if we're lucky, they'll put it on the F-14D. Now, I can almost guarantee the F-14B is coming to the game. The D might come as an event vehicle, or maybe it might come as a premium or something later down the line. Who knows? But those are definitely coming to the game. But in terms of the AIM-54C, it basically improved electronics over the A model. It had better shoot down, or look down, shoot down, that sort of deal. So it could shoot low altitude targets, which is awesome because the current missile we have in game gets confused by the ground a lot. So this is basically a better AIM-54A that can fly at lower altitudes, which will be awesome since this has such a long range. Now, our second spot goes to the R-77, and like the R-73, this goes on a lot of Russian aircraft, especially the newer ones. The reason I think this missile would come to the game is because, well, that's mostly because our number 1 spot, but the reason I think it's coming to the game is because, well, Russia's going to need a counter when we get more advanced missiles in the game. We have like Meteors or Mika missiles, that sort of deal, right? So I believe the first variant of the R-77 will probably be added within either this year or next year, definitely. It's a pretty good missile. It is a Fox 3, so you could shoot this bad boy, and as long as the radar on the missile tracks the target well enough, you could basically turn around and go the other way, and the missile will still track. And the thing is, this missile wasn't put on jets like the early Su-27s or the Su-33, so it will likely be added when we get different types of Russian aircraft. But it'll be cool to see, and I believe this is probably going to be coming definitely in a year or two from now. And last but not least, our final spot goes to the AIM-120A. Now this is on a lot of American fighters and some European fighters. It is a Fox 3, of course, so once you launch this, it will use its own radar to track a target at a certain range, of course. But you can pitbull these as well, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, this missile, I believe it's going to be added to the game fairly soon, because there was some rumors about it being in the files. People have seen some models, or not models, but parts of it in the files. So that definitely means Gaijin is thinking about it. You know, it's in their head. It's definitely on their conscious right now. But I feel like this is going to be a missile that we're going to need, because when we get jets like the F-15 or event vehicles like the F-20 Tiger Shark, you know, they're going to need Fox 3s. And this right here, this is the pick. It'd actually be interesting if they did make the F-14D an event vehicle and put AIM-120s on it, because they did test AIM-120s on the F-14D, so it was possible to use. It just wasn't very, it wasn't in, what's the word for it, wide production, I guess. They didn't do it a lot. But this goes on some jets in game that we have. It would definitely give the US and NATO partners a edge, and hey, it could go on jets like the Gripen. So, which is definitely probably going to be added to the game. I mean, they found that in the files too. So, yeah, this is definitely the next evolution, the eventual missile to be added to the game, and that's why I put this in our #1 spot. Now, the later models of the missile, I don't think we'll see those for a bit, because the more modern missiles we get in the game, the harder they are to dodge and all that sort of deal. So, I mean, I think around the AIM-120A it might stop, or at least with Fox 3s we might get a long period of where we don't get missiles for a while, sort of what they did with when we got the AIM-7. Like when we got our first AIM-7, it took a while before we got another competent missile to face it, and that's largely because the technology gap is so huge. I mean, you get a missile like this in the game, it's just going to slaughter everything. But yeah, that is our #1 spot. Well, that seems to be the end of our list. Tell me what you guys think about them, and what missiles should have been in this list, you think? Because there's a lot of missiles in the world. There is a lot, but these are the ones that I've researched, and I was like, you know, it kind of makes sense for these to be added, especially since a lot of them are in the files to begin with. But yeah, tell me in the comments what jets you guys would like to see, and what missiles you'd like to see in the game. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And, you know, mark my words, these missiles, a large majority of them are going to be in the game within the year. You know, I'm going to say it. Within the year, we're going to see most of these missiles. But, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and take care, aviators.